14 WILI and 95.3 FM presents Hometown Threads, a closer look at our community and the people that make it go. Every week, you'll hear uplifting stories from our local businesses and our neighbors. Now, here's our host for Hometown Threads, Keith C. Rice.
Welcome into episode 110. Episode 110 of Hometown Threads on WILI 95.3 FM. Willimantic Today, Facebook, Spectrum 192. Of course, the WILI Radio YouTube channel. Yes, WILI Radio is on YouTube. We've got to get our sister station on there, I-98.3. Just thought about that. Anyway, search for WILI Radio on YouTube, and that's where you could not only watch Hometown Threads, but we have so many incredible, talented talk show hosts, and you can watch a lot of the programming on our YouTube channel. Again, WILI Radio, if you want to check that out. Hometown Threads has been airing here on WILI 95.3 since November of 2022, episode 110, and we couldn't do it without our friends from Liberty Bank. Be community kind with 3 great local locations. Across the street from the radio station at 679 Main Street, Willimantic, 1703 West Main Street, Willimantic, Gateway Commons, and right down the street in Mansfield on Route 195, Liberty Bank. Be community kind. J. Matt Rupar, if you'd be so kind, say hello to the fine folks.
Hello.
And, of course, we got to give Mark Tripoli a shout-out from Tripoli Pro Clean Services. He is the podcast sponsor for Hometown Threads, where you could, not only, as I was mentioning, you can go to YouTube and watch all the talk shows, but you can go to WILI.com, and, you know, if you're out doing yard work or on vacation, you can throw on some headphones and listen to Hometown Threads or any of our great talk shows at WILI.com, and Tripoli Pro Clean Services is the sponsor for the Hometown Threads podcast. So, here we go, episode 110 of Hometown Threads. It's a pleasure to welcome in another Randazzo. I almost said Randazzo. We were just talking about that.
Close.
Randazzo, potato.
We answer to both.
Joe Randazzo is with us from the Fish Market on Main Street, Willimantic, and the exact address is?
1307 Main Street, Willimantic.
There you go, 1307 Main Street, Willimantic. The Randazzo family has been owners of the Fish Market. Well, Joe, you are the official owner, right? Or
yes, myself and my 2 brothers, Sebastian and Paulie, Sebi and Paulie.
Should I call Sebi? Start calling him Sebastian?
Yeah,
now?
Sebi. No, Sebi's good. So yeah, we've owned the Fish Market since 2020. We bought it from Brett and Terry Hussey. They had started it in 2004, I believe, and had a 15-year run, and then we took it over, and we're continuing on the tradition of having high quality seafood, fresh seafood for the community.
Do a great job. Yes, I mean, I'm a huge seafood fan myself. So, what has been? Well, let's go back to a little more history of the Fish Market. I know you said you took it over from the Hussies in 2020, and do you happen to know? If you don't, no big deal. But did somebody else own them before 2004?
No, actually, it was Terry's idea to start the Fish Market.
So it started in 04.
It started in 04. I also want to give a quick shout out to Paul Butterfield, who is our fish buyer and the general manager. He's been there since the doors opened. He stayed with us, which is a godsend. And then also my staff. I have great staff at the Fish Market. Alicia, Patricia, and my niece Angelina, my mom, who does all the soups and the salads and stuffing, and she's still with us and works 3 days a week with us. So.
I had no idea that. You think off the top of your head that it's just the 3 guys there, but your family. The roots run pretty deep there in the Fish Market.
Yes, and it's great that my mom still comes in and does all those things. I get to see her every day, and it's just
What's
a wonderful
her name again?
treat. Rose.
Hello, Rose.
Rose.
What kind of soups does Rose put together?
So she makes the New England clam chowder, the Rhode Island clam chowder, the seafood gumbo, and lobster bisque. Those are the 4 soups that we carry regularly. In the summer, we also make a crab and corn chowder, which as soon as the corn is available locally, we start making that. So look for that shortly.
Wow. If I'd be staring at the chowder menu for days because I'm a huge, as I mentioned, I love seafood. But out of those chowders you just mentioned, I would have a rough time making a decision which one I'd want.
Yeah, they're all
like the
terrific.
Blizzard menu at Dairy Queen.
Yeah. I love the Blizzard menu at Dairy Queen.
Do you find yourself it happens every time I go, and then the person by the guy, can I help you? Just give me a few more minutes. That's how he'd be trying to figure out what kind of chowder I wanted at the fish market.
Yes.
So, well, I'm sure they're all hot commodities there, but what is off the top of your head right now well, they're all great, but I'm saying the one that sells the most probably.
Oh, our best seller is by far Faroe Island salmon, which is a salmon that comes from the Faroe Islands off of Norway, and that is our best seller. We week in and week out we go
salmon.
through that. Yeah, salmon's delicious.
But as far as chowders go, what's the big?
As far as chowder is definitely New England.
New England,
Yeah,
okay.
New England chowder is the number one seller.
All right, so besides the Faroe Island salmon, what else flies off the menu at the fish market?
Oh, so we have a wide variety of fish. It's some of the best and freshest local fish that we get is flounder, blackfish, black sea bass, porgies, fluke, and we get those right out of Stonington, Connecticut. We go to the docks every 2 days and pick up fresh seafood there. We also carry halibut and swordfish, sushi grade tuna, sea scallops, a wide variety of things. So lots of shellfish as well.
How many times a week do you personally find yourself eating seafood?
Quite frequently, at least 3 to 4 times. Yes.
3 or 4 times?
Yes.
All right. What do you? You like salmon.
Yep. So last night I grilled salmon and halibut.
Oh.
It was fantastic. It was really delicious. I know. I should have, Keith.
Your wife Sam also plays a part, right?
Yes, Samantha and my brother Sebi work the farmers market. We go to a farmers market every Saturday in Ellington, Connecticut. My nephew Dylan also helps out with that. So we take the refrigerated truck with a setup for outdoor with a sneeze guard, and we sell fresh seafood to the folks of Ellington.
Excellent. Now, let's turn the page back a little bit. Excuse me. You grew up, obviously, you have another brother, Paulie. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I'm going to go off track here for a second. As long as I've known your family, I know you and Sebi, and by the way, Joe and his lovely wife Sam come out and support us at the gigs we do during the week at Fenton River Grill, Blackout Music Bingo, and then Trolley Pub Trivia on Thursdays. And thank you for that. But I know Sebi. I don't think I've ever met Paulie.
Yeah, Paulie is the youngest brother. He's 8 years younger than I, and we have another business that Paulie and Sebi run on the day-to-day. It's doing excavation and site work and tree service and that kind of thing. So Paulie and Sebi are out in the field during the week, and I'm doing the fish market. So I'm in charge of that end of the business.
Gotcha. Now let's go back, as I was saying, with you personally. You grew up around here, Wyndham High School,
right?
Yeah,
I did. I grew up around here. I started in Columbia at Horace Porter when I was in 6th grade. I remember my teacher, Mrs. Taggart, and then went on to Wyndham High and graduated 1990. Samantha and I did.
Class of 90.
Yep. And then Sebi graduated 92. And then my brother Paulie was at Wyndham Tech, and I believe he graduated in 96 or so.
So Paulie's the youngest.
He's the youngest.
Just 3 boys? Are there any girls?
Yeah, no girls,
Okay.
3 boys. Yeah.
So why'd Paulie go to Tech? I'm just curious.
He wanted to go into electrical, and that was the best program available at the time.
Now, as far as sports go, I know what Sebi did. Again, I don't know Paulie that well. Did Joe and Paulie play baseball?
I played football and I wrestled.
You wrestled like Sebi, huh?
Yeah, I did. Just 1 year though, because I had a major injury to my shoulder and required surgery, so I didn't play the rest of it. But I did play as a freshman, and I loved it. Shout out to Coach Crudden. We love you.
Coach Crudden, yeah, we've had him on. And you played football. Well, you played, what was the sport you played 1 year? Just
football and wrestling, yeah.
You did both for 1 year?
Right.
Okay.
Correct, yeah.
And so it's time to graduate, class of 90. By the way, are you and Sam like high school sweethearts?
Yes.
High school sweethearts?
Yes, we've been, we just celebrated our 30th anniversary on June 10th.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, yes, Samantha and I have been together since grade school, actually.
Grade school?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
They're grade school sweethearts.
Yes, we are.
Oh, 30-year anniversary. We'll make sure to sing to you at the gigs.
All right. Sounds good.
So anyway, okay, so now it's you graduate.
Yeah.
How did your family start getting into businesses around here? What did you do right out of high school?
Well, so my father moved to this area from Hartford in the late 70s, and he originally bought the Columbia Package Store in 1982, and that was our first liquor store. And for many years, we owned the Columbia Package Store, and then we started Wyndham Wine and Spirits, and then we acquired Brandy and Brew. And at one point, we had 4 liquor stores in the family.
I didn't know you guys had 4.
Yeah,
I kept thinking it was just
Stafford.
Columbia Package Store and Wyndham Wine and Spirits.
No, Brandy and Brew,
Brandy and Brew?
and then also Stafford. In Stafford, my uncle was Randazzo Package Store.
Wow, I don't think I knew that. So you guys did that for a bunch of
We
years.
did. I, out of high school, started working in the framing construction industry. I went to work for a good friend of my dad's, Mark Melody, and Mark and his foreman, Jim Engel, taught me all the ropes to frame houses. And I did that for a number of years, and then I went into real estate sales.
No kidding.
And I worked for Century 21 for many years, yes.
So before you got into the whole join the family in the package store business, you were doing this stuff.
I was, yes.
What did you like better back then? Were you doing both at the same time, or you went from framing to real estate?
I went from framing to real estate, and I liked them both. They both shaped me to the person I am today. I had great success in the real estate business. I did it for like 17 years, and I loved helping people get into their first home. It was, the biggest transaction of some people's life, and I was happy to help with that. It was very fulfilling. The construction was just so great because I learned so much in a short period of time, to the point where I could, frame houses on my own, which I did a little bit. Yes, and it just was a great time in my life. Yeah.
I've heard that about real estate. I know a lot of old radio friends of mine that had left the radio business and went on to do real estate, and I still follow them today on social media, and I hear them from it. It's a great field, and they rave about it.
Yes.
And, a nice person like yourself who likes to help people and all. I could see someone like you succeeding in that. And it's just there is some kind of satisfaction with, as you said, getting somebody into their first home or into another home. So
absolutely,
17 years you did that, huh?
Yes. Yep.
So now, as much as you love that, it's time to. What year did you say, okay, I'm good with real estate? And then, what did the family call you into the business?
Yeah, so right around 2007, 2008, the real estate market really suffered, as everyone knows. It was a major crash, and at the time, we had an opportunity to buy Wyndham Wine and Spirits, which was in the old Kentucky Fried Chicken building,
owned by Alan Giordano, former talk show
Alan,
host.
Yes, so we bought it from Alan and decided to expand the store. And in 2008, we put on a very large addition, redid the whole store, and made it to the size it is today, which is like 5,500 square
So
feet.
you guys did that. That's right.
Yes, we did that. In 2008.
That you turned that into a legendary store. You really did.
Yes, we did. We bought 2 neighboring properties, expanded the parking, obviously did the big addition on the store, and it worked out, and the community really supported it.
Joe Randazzo is with us from the Fish Market here on episode 110 of Hometown Threads on WILI 95.3 FM. Brought to you by Liberty Bank, Be Community Kind. Okay, so you talk a little more about the one on Main Street, the one you were saying, the one you expanded, their Wyndham Wine and Spirits. That as you still had the others too, correct?
Yes, we
but
did.
that one was, I would have to say, was your bread and butter, pretty much, right?
Wyndham Wine and Spirits and Columbia Package were both the bigger stores.
Both in prime locations.
Yes, both been very, very good locations and convenient for our customer base. We really thought that the Wyndham Wine and Spirits, that location, could be successful, and so we put a lot of effort, sweat, and money into it, and brought it up to what it is.
Refresh my memory, because I might have been not living around here at the time. What years did I apologize, viewers. What years did you decide to expand, and talk a little about how long it took, and because you're right, that was a small little building.
Yeah, so it was the small old Kentucky Fried Chicken, and in 2007 we purchased that.
Right.
In 2008 we did the addition, which took about 9 months.
9 months, okay.
Yes, and then I don't remember the month, but it was definitely 2008 that we opened as the larger store. We staffed it with a lot of family. My mother was there again, and my brothers, and so that
must have been a great moment. Remodeling that and making and expanding it to that large of a store. Because I remember that Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then you guys, that's the most phenomenal job. I remember that you guys taking it over in 07, and then I actually left at the end of 07, and so I wasn't here for the expansion in 2008, but I remember coming home on weekends going, whoa, well, look at that. Yeah. And so how many years did you guys run all four again, or eventually did you all sell at once?
We sold not all at once, but over the course of a couple of years. We sold Columbia first. I don't remember the year, but I'm guessing it was around 2016, and then 2018, I believe, is when we sold Wyndham Wine and Spirits. We still own the building, but we sold the business to Ramal, and he's run it till now. Currently, the store is closed. It's going to reopen shortly. I know there's been a lot of buzz in the community about the closure. Unfortunately, there was a liquor violation, and they forced the state liquor commission forced Ramal to close for a little while. But that's getting hammered out, and look forward to the store reopening here in July.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Now, talk a little about the other ones that you used to own a while back. Excuse me, Brandy and Brew and the one in Stafford. Whatever happened with those?
So the one in Stafford was owned and run by my uncle Jerry.
Right.
He lives in Stafford, and he owned and ran that for, I believe, 15 years. And then my brother Paulie and my mother ended up buying the Brandy and Brew store. I don't remember the years, but I think they had it for about 5 years, and then they sold it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So Wyndham Wine and Spirits in Columbia were the last ones to that you guys sold, and that was a little more recent than the others. Mm-hmm. What brought you guys to that day where you said, you know what, I think we've done all we can do? Like, what went into that decision for you guys deciding to? That's pretty big news, and you guys decided to sell.
Yeah. So what really pushed us over the edge, so to speak, is that when Sunday sales came in, we were already working 6 days a week, and then having to open on a seventh day. That had a huge factor in us, deciding to sell. Also, the business suffered a little bit because there was no longer that sense of urgency on Saturday to make sure you didn't run out. They could just come in on Sunday, and believe it or not, it hurt sales. So that was kind of our deciding factor, is that we didn't want to work 7 days a week. So we sold the stores, and then we were looking for something else, and a very close friend of mine, Bruce Hussey, had mentioned that his uncle...
The same Bruce Hussey at T&B?
Same Bruce Hussey.
You had Bruce and Giovanna on not too long ago.
Yes. So Bruce had mentioned to me that his uncle and aunt owned the fish market, and that they were thinking of retiring. And a little light bulb went off in my head, and the next day I went down there, and I talked to them, and they said yes, they were indeed thinking about selling, and the rest is history.
Don't you love how things work in a small town like this?
Amazing. Yeah.
Friends help each other out.
Right.
And so that's how the ball got rolling for the fish market. Now, you said this was 2019, 2020,
2020,
right?
yes.
So was this whole transaction or sale or transition happening before COVID was March of 2020.
Yeah.
So when was this all going down?
We were discussing the purchase in the summer of 2020, so very much in the middle of COVID. We closed on October 26th. And of 2020, so COVID was still happening, and actually COVID helped the business at the fish market because it was takeout, so people were not able to go to sit-down restaurants, but they could get our wonderful takeout meals, and that was something that thrived during the COVID years.
So it's people, guests I have in here that have businesses or had businesses. It's that COVID question always comes up. So COVID actually, as bad as it was, worked for you and your business, and you guys had just taken it over.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little, would you say, a jump start for you?
Yes, it was. It was a great boost. You never know how those kind of things are going to affect businesses. Other businesses were, very adversely affected by COVID. In this case, it was a positive.
Yeah. So what else? How about some other? What are some great moments you've shared over your 20? It was just you're going into your 5th year of owning the fish market.
Yep.
When can we find you? Always buying the counter usually at the fish market, 1307 Main Street. Or?
Yeah, I'm there most day to day, most of the time in the office, but I like to work up front and see the customers and thank them for their business. Obviously, we wouldn't be there without the public, so we are very grateful that the support that we have at the fish market, I really look forward to particularly the holidays. The fish market gets very busy. There's a lot of hustle and bustle, and I get to see a lot of people, which I love. I love people. I'm a people person, so that's one of the highlights is especially Christmas and New Year's.
I would think summertime too. People.
Summertime grilling. Yep. Yep, we're in the grill season. So, yes, come on down and get some fresh fish to grill. Faroe
Island salmon. So,
yes.
You got me thinking about that. Marianne and I love our salmon. So, we're going to have to definitely get Faroe Islands. It's got my stomach growling already. So, before we get ready to wrap things up, we're talking with Joe Randazzo, the fish market, 1307 Main Street, the owner of the fish market. I like to ask my guests as we get ready to wrap up the show. You and your family have done so much throughout the community. You're very well known. Who are some people you'd like to shout out or show love to that have really helped you along this journey for Joe Randazzo?
I really want to shout out to my dad and my mom. My father and my mother were both immigrants from Italy. They came here very poor, and my father started as a meat cutter. His family owned meat cutting shops in Italy, and he came here, became a meat cutter, but he always wanted to own businesses and invest. And he made his way out from Hartford, bought a business with no experience, and expanded the store because it was a little tiny store in Columbia when he started. He expanded it to the whole length of the building, and he and my mom put that that business savvy into our family, and that's what's led us to this point.
Another family business. We have a lot of family business, and it's got to make you feel so good. And you and your brothers and all the family involved, just continuing on the Randazzo legacy. So,
yes.
Excellent.
So, Keith, thank you for this opportunity. We really appreciate you sharing our story with the public.
Well, that's a great story, and thank you for your support. Where can people, before we officially wrap this up, where can people find menus online, Facebook or website?
Facebook. We're on Facebook. Look up the Fish Market on Facebook. We have a web page. You stop in and get a menu. Right, we have them printed off, or just come in and ask for me, and we'll chat.
All right. I'm going to take you up on the Faroe Island salmon
sometime
this week, I think. All right. Owner of the Fish Market, Joe Randazzo, our guest for episode 110 of Hometown Threads on WILI 95.3 FM. Thank you to Liberty Bank. Be Community Kind. Thank you again, Joe.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you to J. Matt Rupar. That'll do it for episode 110. Thank you, Willimantic Today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And in the words of the great Roddy McCumber.
Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.
And that concludes another edition of Hometown Threads. Got a story for Keith? Reach out to him on Facebook by searching Keith C. Rice or email him at krice@hallradio.net. Don't forget to tune in next week on 14 WILI and 95.3 FM, as well as the Willimantic Today page on Facebook.